What's going on out there, everybody? We back with you with another scene of No Feelings, Just Facts. I'm your own Clevonne with our host, Miss Tosha V in the house.
Hey.
Mr. Ron is not with us today. He out working. And before we get started, got to give a special birthday shout out to Miss Tasha. It's about to be her birthday. It's your birthday.
Why, thank you.
It's your birthday.
Why, thank you.
It's about to be her birthday in 2 days. Yes. So, hey, how old you about to turn?
43.
43?
No, I'm lying. 42. Huh?
42?
I'm rushing it.
Hey, don't rush it. Don't rush it. All right. So Tasha's birthday coming up. Today's topic, what we're talking about today is black sheep. And the overall, when we're talking about black sheep, is there's so many people that in their families in the situation experience being black sheep, and especially like the mistreatment. The only people who understand what it is to be a black sheep is the person who's been through it.
Right.
Because a lot of people who never been through it can't even attest to what it feels like, how you're mistreated and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times it really starts within your family. If you're in your family and a lot of the family mistreat one particular person all the time, and then they look down on that person, or it's like damn near like the person can't never do right.
Right.
Every time the person trying to move forward, it's like they damn near can't do right. I mean, have you met anybody like that?
Yeah. I mean, from my experience, many of the black sheep don't give a damn about being a black sheep, though.
You say a lot of the black sheep don't give a damn?
Yeah.
Hey, I can agree with that myself because of the fact that you get to a point where you become desensitized, where you really don't care. Like I myself have been a black sheep in my family. And now in my family, go back to the church situation, the black sheep in the church. A lot of people, it's like they give a stamp to mistreat you.
Okay.
Within the community or wherever you are. And it's like, damn, like you can't do nothing right. You move forward, you move right, left, and everybody got something to say about you. Everybody always bringing up your name when you ain't even a part of a conversation. And then a person show up, then everybody say, oh, damn, here she come with her hoish ass.
Right.
Here he come with his broke ass. And now they go in, everybody's like attack mode all the time.
Gotcha.
Which ain't a cool fit.
Okay.
It ain't a cool fit. And what I found over time, too, a lot of black sheeps are the people who mainly always help everybody else, too. They like the main person that's always bailing other people out, always there, listening to everybody else's problems, and then nobody ain't there for them as well. And for me, I look at it how a lot of people fall into depression.
Okay.
It's an internal depression that a lot of people deal with that most people can't even attest to. Because you feel rejected. I had a friend of mine, and they're mixed, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens with a kid that's mixed? The dark kids don't really accept them. The lighter kids don't really accept them.
They really don't feel like they fit in anywhere.
Never, right? So they trapped in between and trying to please every side. So now they got to get two personalities going on here. When I go into the hood, I got to be hood. When I go into my family over here, I got to, be upscale or whatever else. It's not a good fit for a lot of the people. So a lot of people don't understand what they're going through because they're just looking at them as normal people and not knowing how much is corroding them on the inside.
Gotcha.
And a lot of the people are really just looking for validation.
Okay. So do you think that this the label black sheep, you think that really takes a mental toll?
You say
do you think that it takes
the label? Yes. Yeah. I mean, come on. The label itself weighs on a person so heavy that a person is embedded in them. Like people say words don't hurt, words do hurt.
But then you have some people that's that would label themselves the black sheep.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And it's not necessarily you're the black sheep. It's just nobody wants to fuck with you because your attitude is fucked up.
Ooh, that's a deep one right there.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm the black sheep. No, you're just fucked up.
A lot of people, or
but let's be real about it, right?
Or grimy as hell. It's a lot of people that be like that too. Where they do have that going on a lot of times. They are. I always run into a lot of people, like you just said, that will act like they so innocent and they the messiest ass people in the world.
Right.
Seriously. A lot of our actual people who do go through being black sheep, it really tears them down internally. It really does.
But do you think it's always a bad thing?
It is, because everybody can't fully handle it.
Okay.
And it puts the person in a more suicidal position as well.
Explain that.
when a person gets into a suicidal position, like I was just saying, you're looking for that validation, right? You're looking for the people that love you, the people that support you, who really got my back, who's here, who's there. And they're really trapped in this perilous place where nobody understands. So they are spending time trying to prove themselves to their mama, their daddy, the brothers, sister, the community. They're trying to prove themselves so hard, and nobody comes in to say, you know, girl, you good. Who cares? When they have that validation within themselves, they're okay. But a lot of them are fighting. They're fighting their circle. They're really fighting very hard. Let me go to this one really quick. You know what it is, right? You're, as you said at one point, natural giver, right? Being a natural giver, at one point you get to a point where you're just so angry, you get to go through a depression that nobody understands. And everybody will always say something crazy like this. You'll get it back, girl.
It's one of them things where the depression for me sets in when I'm so giving to everyone else, but I don't know how to be that way towards myself. You
say I'm so giving to
everyone else, but I don't know how to be that person to myself.
Oh, that's a different one.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's my dilemma. So I know how to be like arm in arm when someone else is going through something. Okay. Right? I know how to like pull out the checkbook when someone else needs something. Okay. But when it comes to me, my mental health or my well-being or just anything, even treating myself. All right. I don't know how to do that for myself.
Have you?
And then I get pissed off because I see people around me and I'm like, damn, you not down for me like I'm down for you.
Very, very true.
You know what I mean? Very so then true. That sets in because it's like, you start doing inventory, basically.
Oh, wow. Inventory. That's a good statement. Have you ever had people that really had you the same way you had them? Truly?
Yeah.
You have? Mm-hmm. And what's your take on that? Are they just very rare?
Very. Very. Because you have people that really are there just because they want to be there, but then you have people with motives.
A lot of people do have motives, and a lot of people do have the hidden agenda. I'll go back to the black sheep experience, right? When you're the black sheep, a lot of the people will know that you do have this internal depression. They know that you are falling apart yourself, and they'll keep picking at it too. Like a scab, they'll keep pulling off every time you come around. And like for you yourself, I need support, right? I need a different type of level of support so I can get to this next level. But most people will never give it to you because, you, like you say, they got a hidden agenda. Right. The hidden agenda is to keep you in a suppressed mode. If you're suppressed, guess what happens? They win. They're winning, and then you're over here like, what the fuck did I just do? Right. Like have you ever given to somebody and you was like, why the fuck did I help them? No. Oh, I have.
No.
Look, I have.
It's one of them things where if I volunteer or I do anything, it's coming from the heart, right? So even if you end up being a fucked up individual at the end of the day, I don't regret it.
But, okay, give it from the heart, right? I give it from the heart. But like you say, when you know people's agenda after the fact.
I don't regret it. It is what it is. I just know how to move forward, you know what I'm saying? And how to deal with them or not deal with them accordingly. Okay. But I'm not one of those people where I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. Nah. Because at the time when I did it, I meant, you know what I'm saying? It came from the heart, so.
Yeah, I mean, but some people can make you feel like, why the hell did I just help them? Because I had people do that where I probably would have given a person a ride in the past on E. And it's like, all right, y'all, I got to make it here or my car ain't doing well. This past tense. And then they get out and be like, yeah, this old broke ass car. Right. Good luck. And I'm like, man, I'll punch you in your fucking throat. Like, people do make you feel like that.
Yeah, so it's one of them things where when it's how they make you feel after the fact.
It's after the fact. Right. Exactly. Okay. It's after the fact because you come in with the greatest intentions and then people, press you in that manner. But going back to a person being a black sheep is not a good feel because the person spends so much time trying to recover from it. So like I said before, they're going through an identity crisis. Right. When they're going through that identity crisis, they're trying to recover. And how do you recover? They got to go through, some people go through therapy, some people don't. Some people have people to talk to, some people don't. Right. Some people spend all day internalizing what the hell just happened in my life.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't think it's always a bad thing. I don't think being a black sheep is all. Let me just speak from my experience, right? So I would say I'm the black sheep. within my immediate family. But I don't feel like I'm not loved. I just feel like I was always the person that went against the grain.
You went against the grain, okay.
Against the grain. So with that, I was the rebellious child.
Oh,
right?
Okay, gotcha.
I was the rebellious child. I was the child that was outspoken. I was the first one to move from the nest, leave Vegas.
All right.
So it's like, but being that always gave me or made me have a level or gain a level of respect from my parents and my siblings.
Okay. Gotcha.
So like I was the child that my parents knew they didn't have to worry about.
Oh.
Where everyone else would have to be babied. Or help.
I can feel
you get what I'm
saying?
So it's like I don't think it's always a bad thing being the black sheep.
It has its pros and cons. I've been in that position, like you're saying, about being that one where my mom can depend on me because my mom was a single mother, and you got all these kids in the house by herself.
Right.
So I can only imagine the mental health my mom was dealing with now that I'm older. But yes, she does have a lot more respect for you because you're willing to break the boundaries of what's the norm.
Right.
But black sheep, man, I'm telling you, the internal depression is the thing I'm talking about. That most
the loneliness.
Yes.
Okay.
That because we have so many people in society who are going through that depression.
Okay. So with you being labeled the black sheep or feeling that you were the black sheep, how do you deal with it?
You say, how do I deal with it? I'm still dealing with it. To be honest with you, you asked me how, and I'm stating I'm still dealing with it.
You're still trying to learn how to deal with it?
I'm still trying to learn how to cope with it. I'm still figuring out the methods of my do's and don'ts, my boundaries. Because like I said before, the person was seeking acceptance, constantly seeking acceptance. A lot of my acting out, whether it was my childhood, my adulthood, I'm trying to seek that acceptance.
I think that's something different from being the black sheep, though. That need for validation.
No. Well, where I started with earlier was the fact of how the mistreatment comes.
Okay.
The mistreatment that comes with then the circle, the family, the experiences, which puts a person in this position of trying to seek these things.
Okay.
So there's nothing you do that's good enough. The first thing people hear about me when they come around my family, this the first thing they would say is what? Yeah, ho.
I wasn't going to say it because, you say I be blasting you.
I'm going to put myself out there.
I wasn't saying it.
That's the first thing my family would tell everybody. He a hoe.
But is it true?
Don't fuck with him.
But is it true?
Not no more. I'm delivered. I'm not a hoe no more. I am delivered. Listen to me. I'm not out there like the old people say. I'm not slinging that thing no more. It's one of those things where, like I said, because all the things that are deep-rooted indoctrinated in you,
right.
What you're trying to break, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're going through.
They don't know. I think a lot of your pain comes from because the trauma that caused the reaction was never addressed by your family or even brought to the front. Yeah, he was like that, but this is why.
Yes.
So with them just going to, he's the hoe, but let's dig a little bit deeper and talk about this childhood trauma, which opened the door for that. You know what I mean?
You have the childhood trauma,
right?
And then you have also that. The reason I brought up the dependency component because a lot of people get to the point where they're dependent upon you. A lot of people are so dependent upon you, but they mishandle you and mistreat you at the same time. So they don't respect you, but they depend on you.
Right.
That's a slap in the face out of this world. A lot of so I'm going to be the one that they go to. I'm going to pay their bills. I'm going to help them get out, help them get over, right? I'm that support for them, but they don't respect me. And when I say they don't respect me, because they're waiting for me to fail, waiting for me to fall.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think you try to use your finances to get that validation or that respect?
No.
No,
I never use my finances. No, I use my finances to help people. Because in my mind, all I ever wanted to do was help people. I was brought up to help.
But why would you help people that don't respect you?
Because I grew up around people who didn't respect nobody, and me included. The church, start with the church. I'm going to go back to my family in a second, but let's go with the church. When I talk about the church, I'm a leader in the church. Everybody's cool with taking away from me when it comes to money, whatever they need, right? And they say, help your enemies. They misquote the scriptures to mishandle you too. So now I'm walking around here helping my enemies who don't even respect me. So people will keep their hand out for what they can get from you, but they don't give a shit about you.
Right.
And then you got the people that wish you die. wish you fail, even in your family, even in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
They are so waiting for you to fail tomorrow that if you don't fail, that's going to piss them off.
Right.
When I go backtrack to this. When I got shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn how to walk again and going through all that. This is what was in my brain, past tense. I'm supposed to die.
Mm.
It's an honor to die. It was an honor to die. And I failed. I didn't die.
Wow.
That's fucked up, right?
Uh-huh.
Mentally, that's jacked up. Who the hell thinks like that? I'm a grown man trying to retract. Who the hell thinks like that? Because that's what we were taught. So we were taught in the neighborhood that you're supposed to die. Now I'm over here on life support. I, to this day, still breathe like the machine breathed. They had to bring somebody in there to teach me how to breathe again.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn how to breathe again. And then when I was supposed to be a paraplegic, I learned how to walk again. So to overcome that, right, my depression, because I didn't know about PTSD or any of that, I didn't die. I got the stripes. Yeah, you got shot, dog. You survived all those bullets. I'm feeling good about myself. But everybody over there talking about, the homie just died. Much respect to him. He was a real mother. I didn't die.
You wanted that hood honor.
Exactly. I'd be damned if I try to get that fucking honor now.
Right.
Fuck that honor.
Mm-hmm.
I love being a father. I love being a dad. I love being a philanthropist. I love being a community advocate. I love helping children. But I would never do any of that if I was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I would never know how gifted I am if I sat here and focused on how people felt about me. Do you realize how many people put you down because they know that that's what you're capable of? How many people pull from you? And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to push through stuff that is breaking you.
I know we're supposed to be talking about black sheep, but you just got emotional. So I want to dig a little bit deeper.
You say I just got emotional?
Yeah, I'm looking at your eyes. You just got emotional.
Girl, these allergies. Get
no,
out of here.
No, they're not. So what was what you was just expressing? What's triggering you right now? Honestly, what's triggering
you? Say what's triggering me right now?
Yeah, well, what you just expressed because you teared up. So I really want to get to, since, you know what I'm saying, it's what.
This chick, hey, she over here playing game. We gonna get ready to take callers in a second.
No, because this is important, right?
Okay.
This is important. Now, let me tell you why it's important. Because you're really, really passionate about helping men, right? And what you're expressing live right now is an emotion that I really want to dig deeper into, because this is giving men the okay to show their emotions. So with everything you just brought up, what was triggering for you?
Come on, Tosh. We really gonna get into this? Come on, man. We really go?
Yes.
Ah, man, come on. I'm on live too.
That's good. Come on.
On live.
So what was triggering for you?
Say, what is triggering for me? And you're talking about what I'm talking about right now?
The incident of you being shot, right?
Okay.
Learning, having to learn how to breathe on your own.
Yes.
Having to learn how to walk.
Uh-huh.
Going back to the neighborhood and hearing them praise someone that had just lost their life.
Yes.
And then you feeling like you were a failure because you survived.
All right, feeling like I'm a failure because I survived not dying. I just realized how backwards my teaching was.
Mm-hmm.
The people that were supposed to protect me did everything they could to put me down.
Okay.
The people that I looked up to were not good leaders. They weren't. Mm-hmm. I have a relative of mine that claims that I raised you, this and that, will never come and help me if I needed help right now. Mm-hmm. Has never helped me pay bills and say, hey, go, I got the rent money. My mom has helped me. I have a relative that has never helped me.
I'm going to scale you back.
Okay.
Because you're running.
You say I'm running?
You're running. I know when you're deflecting. We're going back to you in that hospital bed, right?
This chick.
On life support.
On life support, okay.
All right. That emotion you felt when you were able to walk out of that hospital and go back to your neighborhood, to your family, and feeling like you failed because you survived. What was that?
I would say that's a piece of you that's already the brokenness.
Mm.
The brokenness. It's a lot of people don't know how to channel when they've been broken. So when you see people lash out of anger and they just get emotional, a lot of people don't know how to channel the emotion. Most people will listen to you to throw stuff back in your face sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I bringing this up? Because I've had that happen at the time of these moments, right? At the time of the moment.
You're laughing because you know me. And I know
Tasha,
We're going back to you. We're going back to you. Getting out of that hospital bed, walking, learning how to walk, going back to your neighborhood, getting back home, and feeling like you failed because you survived. I want you to stay in that moment because that's when I seen you tear up. You feeling like you failed because you survived. What was that?
I can't believe I made it. That's what that was. The feeling that I can never give any words to explain that I really survived this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I really survived this. The stuff that I seen going back to being in a coma, the stuff that I seen, anybody who's been in a real traumatic situation will tell you, of being in a coma, some people will come to you like, I seen my life from the beginning of being a baby all the way to the end, but I only remember what happened in the middle. I remember walking around the hospital, but I was in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
I saw all the traumatic situations, and then coming back to, I'm not even going to use the neighborhood part. I'm going to use the family. I'm going to go back to the family.
Mm-hmm.
All the role models that I was raised with were not role models. These weren't people. So now I'm looking at the fact, yes, I'm embarrassed. Yes, I'm embarrassed that I did survive because I didn't get the casket. I didn't get just like how they celebrate the men they get out of prison. Mind you, I got degrees and I ain't never got no party.
Right.
So they put a party together for my uncles getting out of prison. I graduated high school. I never got a damn diploma. A party for my diploma. So they your uncle getting out, we gonna throw a party for him. Such and such died. We making sure we throw a big party for him. I survived being shot multiple times coming out. And it's like,
was it,
you all right? You
was
good?
Was it one of them things where it was kind of not a regret that you survived, but you had to go back to your family?
I had to
do you think you were looking at that as a way out?
No, I didn't go to where I was with the intent of getting shot or starting. I never started no drama with people.
Mm-hmm.
The guy just got a 2-for-1 that night.
Right.
That was it. He was shooting at somebody else, and then he come around and he shot me.
Mm-hmm.
He was shooting at the dude, then he seen me, he shot me too. That was it. He got a 2-for-1 that night.
Right.
That's how that went. But the trauma you go through with that is I can't explain it. I can't fully explain it.
And your family couldn't understand it.
They couldn't understand it. I got shot on the 4th of July. It took me years to go outside. And my family, everybody, come on, come be over here. And as soon as I hear the fireworks, I hurry up and go back in the house.
Right.
I'm fit to leave, y'all. I'm driving home crying because I can't believe, like, I'm thinking that all these fireworks are for me.
PTSD.
The PTSD.
Right.
When I seen, if I explain to people, I'm saying, hey, y'all, I seen the bullets like the Matrix. People think I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I literally seen the bullet fly past my face here, and I turned my head, and the next one was coming here, and I turned and it went past my head, and then I seen the last one hit me in my face. That's when my face blew open.
Mm-hmm.
That was it, but I didn't know I got shot all the other times. When a person gets shot, they don't know they're getting shot. Right. They don't even feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel it till it start burning. So I'm saying this to coming from that trauma, I didn't have nothing to support me to say, let's deal with this. Are you following me?
Yeah.
There was nothing in place to say, let's deal with this. My uncle did make a suggestion. He should go to counseling. But in the neighborhood, you don't go to counseling. Only weak people go to counseling. I go to Jesus.
Oh.
That's what the church say. Go to Jesus. Take it to Jesus.
Right.
Jesus gonna fix it. And I'm still waiting on some of this stuff that they told me that wasn't right. The misteaching in the community is what I'm saying.
Right.
And your family is included in that as well.
Gotcha.
And they will force it upon you because you're not dealing with how they deal with things, or you're not saying it. It becomes an issue. It's a huge issue. So
I want to make a point too, because a lot of people I see, they always come at you with like you're always attacking the church, or you have a lot of church hurt. And I think what needs to be expressed is how embedded your family was in the church. So it's not like you had an issue just with the church. It's because the church was home. And you get what I mean? So,
with the church,
so it's like it may come across as it's a lot of church hurt, but what it is childhood trauma. And since your family was so like active in the church community, and so it's one big thing. So it might appear like your issue is the church, but really it's a lot of
it's a lot. Yeah,
with the family.
So addressing the thing with the church. So let's address that. When it comes to me addressing the church, yes, we grew up in church, right? My mom wasn't always in church, so she put us in church a little later. You got a lot of kids at the house. She had a break. The lady in the van come pick up all these kids, right? Church really saved me from a lot of stuff, but I would go to church and go hang out in the street. That's how that would happen. My grandmother was in church. My grandmother smoked a lot of Winston-Salems, a pack of Winston-Salem damn near a day. And then she lived across the street from the church, so she would back her car out the driveway and drive across the street. And we had to walk. When I say across the street,
wait.
My grandma, listen to me. It's like where I'm sitting at, where you are, that you were the church. My grandma's house is right in front of the church. My grandma would put her car in reverse, back out the driveway, and drive across the street into the damn church parking lot. And we had to walk to the church. And we over there. Now, mind you, the church sucked too. That make it even worse. They church sucked. It was a lot of old people in that church, and we're there. So we're there in that church. Y'all laughing. I'm serious, y'all. I'm serious. That's how it was. As in, the kids that got to spend the night at their grandma's house.
Yeah.
So we spend the night at our grandma's house, and you know how they keep those bananas on top of the refrigerator, and they get to being mushy, and they make you eat them. And that was that, but
right.
Yeah. So we was at my grandma. So my grandma would go to her church across the street. My mom went to another church. So we grew up, we were singing in the choir, all that stuff. And then I started speaking in church at a young age. He gonna be a preacher. That's what they say. He gonna be a preacher. So we left that church. My mom's people left that church, and they formed another church. Then I'm at that church from about the age of 11 till I'm in my late 20s at that church. But what I experienced is they maxed out at their growth. So when you would bring ideas and let's go this route, then you get cut down.
Right.
So
it was the treatment you start getting at the church was familiar to you because that's what you were experienced at home. So that's why you say you were the black sheep in the family and at church.
Because it was okay. Because yes, when people know that the family is divided, period, right? When they know that the grandmama don't talk to the mama, the auntie is fighting with the nieces, people will use that against you. And that's what happened within my mom's family. My mom's family is dysfunctional. My mom's side of the family.
Bunch of hyenas.
Oh, there are, man, there's a lot of hyenas in my mom's family. Hey, no disrespect, man, but I'm having beef with some of them right now, hyenas. So a lot of the people will get overly inserted in my mom's situation. And it's like my mom don't have a man in the house. My dad's on drugs. My dad was our babysitter when he needed somewhere to stay. So I never been disciplined by a man. You see the imbalance? I've never been disciplined by a man. My uncle, who's a homosexual, who swear he taught me manhood. He sure in the fuck did not. He sure in the fuck did not. I love him. Don't get me wrong. I love him. But he swear I taught you how to be a man. You a motherfucking lie, dude.
Let me ask you this. I know we're going all the way around.
It's all good.
But you said that you never been disciplined by a man.
Never been disciplined by a man.
How did that transition? And I'm asking because you're going into manhood, right?
All right.
So how do you deal when you start dealing with older men who try to discipline you by in the church, stay in the church or at work? Was there some type of resentment there for authority? Males in authority? A lot of the men
always looked up to me. That's the backwards part. A lot of the men who would come would look up to me because they're like, well, you experience a lot and you know a lot, but in one area, mainly in church, the Bible, and then incorporate the life experiences was beyond them because some people ain't grew up in the bad neighborhoods. I'm not saying our neighborhood was so horrible, but my mom did her best, but you got all this craziness that's going. And I'll give you a prime example of what's going on in our neighborhood. They would shoot a 357, right? Somebody would go race the bullet down the street. Or they shoot the gun They on one end and you on the other end, and you stand there to listen for the bullet. Mm-hmm. What if the bullet would have hit you?
Right.
Are you understanding the come on, man.
Yeah.
Psychologically jacked up there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the men would always look up because they didn't have nothing to relate to. Because like I said before,
that was in the church, right?
In the church, a lot of the male pastors,
mm-hmm.
a lot of the other women would push the men out. They would bash the men. They keep the young men there because they're groomable. I'm a young man. I'm groomable. But the older men, they would turn on him very fast. He don't know the word.
So outside of the church, it didn't affect you in any other way? Like if you had to work underneath a male at a job or anything, you didn't have any?
I didn't never have a problem with working under other men. The issue I had is a lot of men feeling offended, ready to fight you. Ready to fight you for no reason. I'll give you a prime example. When I got my CDL, right, I had all the answers to the test that you go to the DMV and take the test. Mm-hmm. There's one guy, big, fat, ugly bastard, say, hey, I want to do that test too. So I'm like, hey, bro, I got all the test answers. You know, I can pass them to you. Just take the test. I give the dude the papers. You know what he did? He threw them in the trash. Right there in my face. He took the papers and threw them in the trash. Mm-hmm. What was my first reaction? I'm beating his ass after work. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, that's how it is.
Right.
But then I had another charge, so I couldn't beat him. I had to beat the charge
But you
first.
Just said a lot of them would try to fight you. He just threw it away, so you wanted to fight him?
A lot of them would do antagonizing things.
Okay.
A lot of the men would not respect me for who I was. Mm-hmm. So I'm over here fighting these men for what
respect.
reason? No, it's not even for respect. I'll come in there respecting them and say, hey, how's it going, sir? What do you need me to do?
No, I'm saying you felt like they were being disrespectful.
No, I'm telling you how it would go. Mm-hmm. I'm giving them respect, and then they'll turn around with something else totally different.
That's what I just said. You didn't hear me? I said you felt like they were disrespecting you.
Oh, okay, yes. No, but yeah, they will openly disrespect you. Mm-hmm. Not even felt like it. They will openly disrespect you, but they want me to constantly respect them. Mm-hmm. And it's like all of a sudden it's like a territorial thing. Why? Why is it a territorial thing if we're working together?
Right.
It would never be like that. Y'all young dudes don't know this. Go back to the church. These older men would talk just like the older men in the workforce would talk like the older men in the church. Mm-hmm. Y'all young people don't know nothing. Y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all this, you that. You ain't ready for life. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? If I'm saying, hey, dude, I want to go start a business, that costs too much money. Ain't nobody. I got a friend who got a business. He told me about all that he go through. Right. I ain't messing with that. It's psychologically.
So have you ever encountered another male that was willing to mentor you where you felt like
to mentor you?
Yeah, you. Or do you think it was a positive? Like, because what I hear you say, there was no man around.
Correct.
It was a family of women, right?
Mainly women.
And then you bumped heads with a lot of males in the church. So I'm saying, have you ever encountered
the older males, not the ones that didn't go to church. The ones that didn't go to church that would come off the street. I'm talking about the ones that come in and smell like weed, sagging. We vibe all day. Mm-hmm. That's my group. Like, hey, dude, or one of the older men that just go. He just left the Elks, or some come in the church with his wife. Finally, I vibe with them. But the older ones that's been there for a long time never like me. Mm-hmm. They never like me because you getting beside yourself. You think you're better than everybody. Where did that terminology come from? Because somebody else within the circle told them that too.
Gotcha.
So there is no level of respect. You see the cut down all the way across the board. The people who I never knew respected me more than the people who I did know.
Gotcha. I hear you. Do you want to go to the phone lines and see if
okay, yeah, we're gonna open up the phone. We're gonna get ready to open up the phone lines. I forgot what I was about to say to you before too, because it's like we up here talking.
I try to make you dig deeper.
You trying to make me dig deep on that. You know, all right, we'll bring that up one of these days, because it is still a sensitive subject. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's a sensitive subject, let me use this for example. I've been blessed to achieve a lot, mm-hmm. and I've been blessed to go through a lot. And everything that I've achieved, I was able to see it from another side, like, wow, you can achieve this. Mm-hmm. And then everything that, I've been hurt by helped me see it from another side, like, wow, you can. Okay, this is how you fight this. This is how you deal with that. Had I never went through like this lawsuit and this person screwing you over, I wouldn't know.
Right.
I have no clue of how to deal with half of that stuff. So and you gotta get to the point where you can harbor your emotions enough so you can focus on what you gotta do. Mm-hmm. And that's why I always tell people, don't kill yourself today. don't kill yourself today. Like we would tell the people in AA meetings, one day at a time. Just get through today, come back tomorrow.
Right.
And tomorrow you may be depressed again. If you have to have a drink to get through, have your drink, get up, go to work, do what you got to do. Just keep moving. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell people. Keep moving. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So any of y'all on the line that want to call in really quick, we're about to open up the phone line. So if anybody want to call in, what's the number, Ma?
702 608 3259. Once again, that's 702 608 3259.
Okay, so if anybody want to call in right now, we was talking about black sheep and then we kind of drifted a little bit, but anybody want to call in right now, you got the open line right now. So we'll definitely be looking for y'all. Anybody that want to call in. If somebody can post that number in there really quick, right here in the live, because I don't even have the access.
You do. You just don't know what you're doing.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Just be real with it.
She's trying to throw me under the bus. Do you know how to work it? Hey, seriously though, anybody want to call in? Once again,
it's 702
608
3259.
3259. Call in if you want to join in right now. We were talking about black sheep. And
we're finna talk about anything.
We right now, it just drifted.
I want, you know what I'm saying? I want to dig a little bit deeper.
It just drifted, and I'm cool with that. It's somebody put right here, it says, easier said than done. The transparency is triggering. Ooh, very true. Very, very true. A lot of let me tell you, being transparent with what you've been through is not an easy conversation because everybody don't understand it. Everybody want to hear you talk, but everybody's not empathetic enough to know what you've been through.
Right.
Some people are sympathetic, but they can say, man, I've been through that. I can feel you. Some people are empathetic enough to say, you know what? I can relate to where you are. Some people just don't give a fuck.
Or they be like, why didn't you? I hate hearing that.
Oh my God.
You should have.
Oh my
I would have.
God. Yes.
If it was me.
If that was me.
Right.
If that was me, I wouldn't. Are you out your damn mind? It ain't you.
For me, it's important to be transparent because it's me getting it off of me. So like your angle, I think, is for helping people.
Yeah.
With me, I just got to get that shit up off
Well,
me.
it goes both ways.
Yeah,
it goes
I just have to
ways.
get it up off
So
me.
for me personally, if I'm talking about what I've been through, and like what's going on, it's the same relatability of what other people are going through as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are going through the same exact thing. It's just unspoken. I just haven't touched those people. I haven't tapped in with those people.
Right.
But it's not too much different. And I'll give you this really quick is when I talk to you about me, whether I was cheating in my marriage, right? Mm-hmm. Me bringing that up, all my family would bash the shit out of me. But this is what the fuck y'all taught me. Mm-hmm. Y'all taught me how to do this.
Right.
Y'all told me I was a weak ass man if I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. So when I portrayed what I've been taught, which I knew internally wasn't right, then I'm a bad person. Right. But go back to the leaders of the church, right? I'll give you this example. When a lot of those older men would be meeting in the office, they ain't talking about no damn scripture.
Right.
They talking about, hey, yo, you see Tasha out there? She's single. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, she'll let you hit. I hit last week.
That's what's going on, right?
Those are dialogues that happen.
Right.
Those are dialogues that happen. And we're talking about men with women, with wives. We're talking about people with spouses that encourage you not to get a spouse.
But let's, because you know me.
No, right? It's all good. Ain't nobody called in right now, so we good.
Okay. So you saying that's what you were taught, or that's we do, which is true to some level, but you had to enjoy it.
Enjoy which part?
Like the cheating, the multiple women. You know what I mean? It's not one of them things. For example, right? Okay. You said your father was an addict. Right?
Yeah.
So, and you grew up in a neighborhood where you seen this, but you didn't run the drugs.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
So no, you don't see what I'm saying?
No. I'm saying no. I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
No,
so it's like, how much of that are we going to be accountable for our own actions versus, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, which is very true. So I'm not sitting up here blaming my dad and saying my dad did this. I'm saying when you have this mindset that's embedded in you, some people are acting, you see kids, right? As a school teacher, I'll give you this example. When me teaching in the school, I would have a lot of the kids, what up, cuz? Elementary. What up, blood? Why? Why is this baby saying this? This is a child because he's embedded in his circle. His circle is his neighborhood. His family is his everything. His big cousin, who's 16, who just got killed. He a real G. You got the older uncle that kill people. My uncle kills people. He the dude.
I get that.
So mentally, what is this child going to become? And we're telling him he go. You gonna be a lawyer.
Can we go back to you?
Okay.
What I said. I love it. See, that's how I know you're a pastor at heart for real, because that deflection.
Come on,
is real.
All right.
You had to.
Have you dealt with? Why you trying to do me?
No, but seriously, because it's to help people. Because we can blame so much on the environment. We can blame so much on trauma. But at some point, we have to be like, well, damn, I really had to enjoy this to keep it going on. Sometimes we don't know any different. You know what I mean?
You don't know,
or we don't know how to change cycles.
But who is helping you address it? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Who or what is helping you to address it? Mm-hmm. To be able to pin out what the issue is.
What helped you?
Isolation. Everything stripped away.
Mm-hmm.
I've always knew, this is what I'm saying. Go back to a person who knows that they're an addict, right?
You said you knew it wasn't right.
I knew it wasn't right. I knew that I had an issue,
mm-hmm.
but I was bashed and rewarded at the same time, which is a bad situation. So the people will turn around and bash you. Oh, here you go. Like I say, here to go this hoe. My homegirl want to holler at you.
But then introduce you to people.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the balance in that?
Right.
How do we hold it accountable? How do we help them get over this hump?
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing in place to help you get over this hump. That's my issue.
Okay.
So now I'm walking around where they're telling me, you wrong, you dirty. But y'all are setting it up at the same time. So go into the church thing. Go back to what I said. My stuff just put on the forefront. I'm just caught up in it. And do you enjoy it? Like you just asked your question. Okay, you had to enjoy it. Everybody enjoys that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of the moment. When a person is doing drugs, do you think they don't want to stop? They're enjoying the moment. They're in that moment.
Right.
But when they come off the high, they feel like shit.
Yeah.
After they're done, they're like, oh my God, why did I do that again? So with me telling a person I have a sex addiction, I've been struggling over here. So I'm telling a person, this is my addiction, this is my flaw. And what people will say is, oh, you're going to be all right. I come off of it. I gotten what I wanted, and now I feel like shit.
Mm.
Well,
Gotcha.
she was good. She did a whole lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, me and her went and rode a roller coaster before we screwed.
Mm-hmm.
I did this one in the back of Fowler's Paredes. Shit, man, the excitement is real.
I'm sorry. You threw me for a loop.
I'm throwing out a joke,
right.
But I'm just saying, look at the reality of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at where I fall short. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I've fallen short in these areas, and every time I'm like, man. And see, what a person does when they have an addiction is, yes, after they're done, they come off that high. When they go back into the environment, remember the black sheep, when they go back into the environment that bashes them, it makes them feel worse.
Mm.
When they're getting ready to go around the family or whoever it is, they already feel like shit.
Gotcha.
Then they get there with nothing to help them, and they get bashed with no help, and they feel like more shit. So what they do, they go right back out to the shit.
Mm-hmm. Makes
so
sense.
I continue shoveling shit. And I'm not even getting no better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting any better. So how do you help people, surpass what's breaking them and what got them in this place? What got them in this position?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know how to deal with stuff, period. If your support system is your enemy, you got a problem.
Damn. Wait, repeat that?
If your support system is your enemy, you got a problem.
Right.
People would always say this to me. They say, stop talking to people who can't help you. I ain't got nobody to talk to.
Mm.
I ain't got nobody to support
and sometimes talking is help.
Think about what I'm saying. I don't have nobody to help me. I don't have nobody to support me. I'm trying to find somebody who will help me and support me. That's why I'm talking.
Yeah.
So people will turn around and say, oh, you stupid, you dumb. What else do I have?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? This is the imbalance that a lot of people deal with. What is helping them get over this hump is the issue. Are we putting them in more of a suppressed situation? Are we helping them get better? A lot of people are not getting better. They're not. And when they go off, when I seen a young man, he had killed himself, right? So I did his funeral, he had killed himself. And I say, wow. And they say, he looked good. He was all right. And then you see the family, it's like, no, he wasn't.
Right.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody get up there and say all the great things about you, but ain't nobody gonna fuck with you. Ain't nobody really answer your call. I should have answered his call. I should have talked to him.
You hear that a lot at funerals?
All the time. Oh, at a funeral? Shit, man. The thing I hear that I hate the most at a funeral, call me, y'all. You know I'm here. I tested it a couple times, especially after we just buried my mom this year. I tested it. Not one of those bastards answered the phone.
Damn.
I appreciate it, though. But you know what people will do to you? People will always do wellness checks. People do wellness checks. The wellness check go like this. Girl, how you doing? What's going on? You got that hair product going yet? You ain't did it? You doing anything else? Oh, girl, I know you gonna get it going. That's a wellness check. We have so many people like that. How many people is doing the check to say, you got it going? You short? I got the check. Let me help you.
When's the last time you did a wellness check on yourself?
Last night.
Dope.
And where does that come from, though? It comes from finally surrounding myself with the right element of support. A lot of us, because you grew up with no support, you kept attracting no support.
Right.
You attracted bodies, but they're not supportive bodies. You attracted the same mindset that you're so used to. The same, it's unconscious.
Right.
How do people change this unconscious mindset? You may see some people that they say this kid grew up in a nice family. Don't mean nothing. They still want to be accepted somewhere.
Right.
Family do everything for them, but they still want to be accepted. Why is that? Because there's a break in there. There's an imbalance. That's one of our biggest issues. So let me ask you this really quick, Tosh. For you yourself, how many people that you've dealt with have said that they were the black sheep of their family?
A lot.
You say you dealt with a lot?
A lot.
Okay, so out of that lot, how many of them did you witness actually being the black sheep of the family?
3.
3 of them?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That's why I said it's self-proclaimed a lot of times.
A lot of times,
and then
yeah.
when I get to know the individual, I'm like, shit, I see why don't nobody fuck with you.
In a good or bad way?
Bad way, usually.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said it really depends with the label of black sheep, because you have some people who are independent where they just step outside or they move outside the norm.
Okay.
Where they go against the grain. Doesn't necessarily mean that, you know what I'm saying, that is the bad thing. They're just in their own lane.
It's different levels to it,
yeah,
too.
it is. But
Definitely.
you have some people where they're rebels without a cause.
A rebel without a cause.
You know
Hey,
so,
just from past to present, like I say, fighting through that, I see a lot of stuff to be spiritual in my take for a lot of different things. Me and my baby, we were just watching this movie called Raya. R-A, the Last Dragon, R-A-Y-A. And we were watching this movie, and this thing coming around, and it's just taking people's soul. And the people are just leaving. But it's a big cloud.
right.
What is it about this cloud that's in this area that's coming to take these people? Spirit. It's a lot of people, the spirit. A lot of stuff we see is the spirit. What type of spirit are you surrounding yourself with? Are you surrounding yourself with a spirit that's taking from you or one that's giving back to you? Because they always said that you can tell a person's spirit by the way they cook. I've had some food, I'm saying, you cook this with some love.
Right.
And then some people food's like, what the fuck?
Right.
This is some bullshit. Like, who the hell decided to cook this? They cooked it. It wasn't even made out of anger. It was made out of ignorance.
Right. I get you.
I'm just saying. So I look at the spiritual aspect of what we surround ourselves with as well.
Or attract.
And we attract normal spirits that are normal. That's how I look at it. What have I been attracting all these years? what I've been surrounded with.
So what you were.
What I was. So everybody that in my family that called me a hoe, majority of them was hoes too. Mm-hmm. A lot of my aunties hoes. I'm being real.
Listen, your family, man, because a couple weeks ago, Quan, what were they? Hyenas. Now you're saying, hey, you're just a bunch of hoes.
Well, no, I'm saying a lot of them were, but that's what they call me. But yeah, they are hyenas. Mm-hmm. A hyena, a woman.
Hoe and hyenas.
Yeah,
Lord,
a hoe and hyena. A hyena. Listen to me. The hyena woman has a big clitoris.
Oh, jeez.
You lie. Research the shit. A hyena woman has a big clitoris. It's bigger than a man's dingling.
Stop it.
Listen, I'm being real.
So it's time to wrap it up.
The woman has a big clitoris and it's bigger, and the man struggles with screwing her. And if he try to screw her, she bite him, they fight him, they beating up on the dude, making him feel like crap. That's when I'm saying they push him out. She got a big ass clitoris that hangs to the ground. It's like a dingling.
Will you stop?
And that's what she birthed the kids through. I'm being real.
Oh, God.
So when I talk about these hyenas, it's a lot of dudes, a lot of these pastors, they got big clitorises too.
Oh,
sorry bastards. I ain't gonna even go into that.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. You was talking about the hyenas.
I didn't say anything. No.
Oh, we was talking about.
This is, okay, next week we're going to address this because you have outbursts.
No. All right, so listen. A lot of those leaders that I'm talking about right now, those men leaders that push men out of the church and that join women, that join forces, they're hyenas too, and they got big clitorises too. Oh, and somebody in their community may know one of these that I'm talking about. He want to start some drama and play victim all the time. I know a couple of them like that.
Said hyenas with big clitorises.
Hyenas got big clitorises.
Okay, let's wrap it up because it's been real.
All right, so look, we ain't getting no calls in today, so it's all good. All right, so when we looking at look at here, when we're looking at people who are black sheep, for those.
I'm sorry, dude.
Whatever.
What happened?
Tosh.
What happened?
Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know. I zoned out, I guess. I thought about those hyenas in the church. All right, what would you like to say as far as wrapping it up right now? What would you like to say in conclusion?
Oh, God. Being a black sheep is not necessarily a bad thing.
You said it's not necessarily a bad thing?
Not necessarily a bad thing. It's one of them things where it's depressing to you. Or one of them things, find a support group.
You say find a support group?
Yeah, create a support group.
But that's what I was saying earlier is how does a person find that support when they never had support? And a lot of the people that they continuously attract end up not being support, So that puts them in more of a disservice, disadvantage. Mm-hmm. You really want that help. You really want that support. But a lot of times you just keep on attracting what you've always had. That part sucks. Mm-hmm. I myself am now, just now in this phase of my life, linking up with genuine people.
Right.
That's like, let's run it.
Right. I know for me, when I say I find the support group, like I find wellness groups, like the sister circle I join, which is a women that get together all about wellness, mental wellness for women and, yoga. So when I say I find a support group, it's not necessarily friends. It's someone or a group of people who are along the journey of healing or whatever. There's so many different groups out there that you can find online on what's that site, the event site, where they're getting together just doing things, because you'll find it's a lot of black sheep who are looking for a network or a group just to go enjoy life with. So
yeah, and myself, it's always been the trust factor. Mm-hmm. Who and what can or do you trust? Mm-hmm. And that's something that why I had to learn over time. That's why, remember we did a live one time and I apologized. I said an apology to a lot of the women that I've had dealings with in the past. Mm-hmm. And because of my own level of insecurity or whatever I was dealing with, my apology is me waking up now. Mm-hmm. I'm more awoke. And if I had this awakening at one point, I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
At one point, everybody around you is praising how many people you knocked down this week, how many people you had. You see what I'm saying? What around you is not trying to take from you, but genuinely help you grow. Mm-hmm. I've had people that come around that want to help you grow with the benefit
you growing.
With the benefit. Hey man, I'll give you this information. When you fall off, the people who gave you that information don't show back up either.
Right.
That part sucks.
So what would you like to walk away saying?
I would like to walk away saying to a lot of the people out there that actually are struggling with this, being the black sheep, like you say, start finding the support group. But a lot of people are so embedded in the depression sometimes that you got to get up and get moving. Mm-hmm. When I say get moving, and some people just got to move around away from family. Just go. Just go. Stop putting yourself back in a situation where you show up and you leave. You show up, you leave. No, just go. Mm-hmm. A lot of people just need to go. Get up and move. If you don't have no kids, especially if you ain't got no kids, go. If you got custody of your kids and the other spouse is saying you can go, go. I would encourage.
That was very beneficial for me.
If I can leave right now with my child with me right now, and we can go. I would go. Mm-hmm. I would not even look back. I wouldn't even second guess it. I would buy.
Yeah, leave all them hyenas.
Buy every hyena and a big ass clitoris. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, anybody that's looking this up, look it up. Hyenas have big clitorises, and there's a lot of men who are those hyenas, and that clitoris is not a penis.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. So you read between the lines. So anyways, hey, we appreciate y'all. We love you. We thank you so much. It's another scene of No Feelings, Just Facts. I'm your own Clevonne, Miss Tosha V. And Mr. Ron is not on the scene, but we love you. We appreciate everybody that's been supporting us all the way across the board. So y'all have a good evening, okay?
Dude, you and these hyenas.
Hey, dude, you know what?